There is a growing chorus in this country to end communication with Hurriyat hawks, to stop expenditure on them so that Indian taxpayers' money is not wasted on those people who say Pakistan hamara hai. But let's now get you the true colors of the chairman of the Tehreek-e-Hurriyat, Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani. Here is a video, and this is which shows his decades-old mindset, where he proudly announces that he is a Pakistani, and for what reason? Because of religion, because of Islam. Proof of his decades-long love for a state sponsor of terror.
हम पाकिस्तानी हैं, पाकिस्तान हमारा है। हम पाकिस्तानी हैं, पाकिस्तान हमारा है। हम पाकिस्तानी हैं।
How can they understand Kashmiriyat, Insaniyat or Jamhuriyat? The Valley Hawks are guided by their love for Pakistan and communal hatred. They only understand the language of bloodshed and violence. For them, local Kashmiris are cannon fodder, easy fuel to be used to stoke the valley fire. Why would then they open their doors for India when their hearts beat for Pakistan? Listen to this old reaction of Hurriyat Hawk Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani. Hear the evil he spews and confirm for yourself his strong affiliations to a state sponsor of terror, Pakistan.
सिर्फ और सिर्फ इस्लाम चलेगा, इंशाअल्लाह। सारे बोलो इंशाअल्लाह, इंशाअल्लाह। और इस्लाम की निस्बत से ही, इस्लाम की निस्बत से ही, इस्लाम के ताल्लुक से ही, इस्लाम की मोहब्बत से ही हम पाकिस्तानी हैं, पाकिस्तान हमारा है। हम पाकिस्तानी हैं, पाकिस्तान हमारा है। हम पाकिस्तानी हैं,
For Gilani, Islam is the link between separatists like him and Pakistan. Gilani's conscience may be dead, but how else could he use religion to misguide youth for the very land he professes to love, justifying burning Kashmir?
95% लोग पीसफुल तरीके से इसका रेजोल्यूशन चाहते हैं. दैट मीन्स देयर इज अ पॉलिटिकल प्रॉब्लम. मगर 5% लोगों ने इसको हाईजैक किया है.
It is no secret who are the enemies of the valley. It's been oft-repeated by the Chief Minister that it's only the 5% anti-nationals who've kept Kashmir burning for 2 months now. It is time India corrected its error and stopped spending to secure the enemies of the state. It's time to tighten the screws on the separatists whose hearts beat for Pakistan. With Jitendra Bahadur Singh, Bureau Report, India Today. What Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani has been saying is just one part of the story. Listen in to what the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Mehbooba Mufti, has been saying, and she's been repeating this ever since this unrest started. She's the first woman Chief Minister of this state, and she's repeatedly warning the valley that youngsters shouldn't get brainwashed because there are venomous elements who are taking the valley onto a wrong path. What are they doing? They are trying to turn the Kashmir valley into an Afghanistan, into a Syria, into a Libya. Listen in to what she's saying.
जब भी अगर आप अपने आस-पास में देखेंगे माहौल, अगर अफगानिस्तान बना हुआ तो वो एकदम अफगानिस्तान ही बना. वहाँ भी धीरे-धीरे इसी तरह शुरू हुआ. लोगों में दहशत फैलाई गई. अदरवाइज मुझे बताइए कि एक बुजुर्ग दुकानदार दाढ़ी वाला 10 साल का बच्चा उसकी दुकान के अंदर घुस के उसको 10 थप्पड़ मारता है. एक नहीं 10 थप्पड़ मारता है. और रात को मस्जिदों से ऐलान किया जाता है औरतें बच्चे सब बाहर आ जाओ प्रोटेस्ट करने के लिए. मस्जिदें तो इस चीज के लिए नहीं बनी है हमारी. हम तो इस चीज के खिलाफ है. इस्लाम तो खिलाफ है कि मस्जिदों में ये शोर शराबा गाना बजाना नहीं होना चाहिए, चाहे वो कोई भी गाना. तो नतीजा क्या है? कौन है इसका जिम्मेदार? ये आपका फर्ज भी बन रहा है. आपकी बच्ची को रास्ते में 10 लड़के रोकेंगे कि कहाँ जा रही हो, ये कपड़े क्यों पहने हैं, ये चप्पल क्यों पहनी है, तो क्या करेंगे? फिर तो कोई कंट्रोल नहीं होगा इसका. जो मैं देख रही हूँ कि आप लड़की स्कूटी क्यों चलाएगी, लगा, अगर कोई बेवा ये प्रेग्नेंट औरत है उसको बोला नहीं आप नहीं जा सकती, कैंसर पेशेंट्स है हमारे से.
Mehbooba Mufti is the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, and she's warning that the signs are ominous. People need to wake up, and now. Gauhar Gilani is a journalist. He's on ground zero. He joins us on the broadcast. Major Gaurav Arya is a former soldier, a scholar and an analyst who served in Jammu and Kashmir. He joins me on the broadcast. Gauhar Gilani, how true are Mehbooba Mufti's fears that there is an attempt to turn Kashmir into Afghanistan, Syria or Libya?
Gaurav, first of all, thank you for having me on the show again. I think Miss Mehbooba Mufti, with due respect to her, she's reading the RSS script. I am Gauhar Gilani, who has studied here. I'm born and brought up in Kashmir. All my teachers, most of my teachers have been Kashmiri Pandit teachers. All my friends still are Kashmiri Pandits. We live together, we dine together, we play together, we laugh together, we discuss together. I think she's totally, unaware of the ground realities. There is a festival of Kashmiri Pandits which is called as Mahashivratri. And each year I send walnuts from Kashmir to many Kashmiri Pandit families, including one of our professors, Professor Mattu, who lives in Jammu. And this is our bond between Kashmiri Muslims and Kashmiri Pandits. As I said,
if that
my all
bond
teachers
actually existed,
from,
Major Arya, thousands and thousands
please,
of
please,
Kashmiri Pandits wouldn't have left.
And
And perhaps if this bond was still intact, they would have returned.
Let me complete,
Major Arya.
Let me complete,
Absolutely. The Kashmiri Pandits were hounded out, they were killed, their women were raped. And to now talk about Kashmiriyat is a total farce. How can you have Kashmiriyats without the original inhabitants of the valley? They're out of the valley, they're no longer there.
And is what we are seeing on grounds, is this Islamiyat, as some commentators are saying? Mehbooba Mufti is the Chief Minister of the state and she is saying mosques are being used to get women and children out on the streets to protest. What kind of Kashmiriyat is this? I will come to Gauhar Gilani for that, but we have breaking news coming in. The government has decided to act tough in the Kashmir Valley. What we are now being told that a dossier is being prepared on the Hurriyat leaders, their funding, their backing. Sources are telling India Today that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been briefed by the Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh and he's backed the stance. I want to quickly bring in India Today's Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu, who joins us with the latest. Kamal, tell us, what was this briefing and what's the decision?
Remember, Gaurav, this entire briefing has happened in the background of all party delegation going and meeting delegations both in Kashmir as well as in Jammu. But the fact remains, the government largely feels that the government of state, which is obviously PDP, BJP alliance, has not yet acted tough. So they feel there should be a strict law implementation, that those who are violating law should be dealt with much more seriously, stringently. On the other hand, they're also updating a dossier on separatists. They feel a lot of funding, which is obviously on their pension, whether it's on travel, whether it's on their housing, on security, is spent by the central government itself through the SRE scheme. But that's the thing they want to really control, and they're saying that should not be given. That will be debated shortly. But what is going to be happening later is that there is at HM's residence at around 5:30. That's where further discussions will take place. But completely backing this entire plan is the Prime Minister, who says a tough stance needs to be taken in Kashmir. And the government of Jammu and Kashmir, which is headed by Mehbooba, there is also an issue of lack of governance which needs to be addressed. There's a feeling that people are actually getting worked up by this entire situation and they need a reprieve and the government needs to work at it.
Stay with me, Kamal. I want to, I will continue talking to you about government's tough stance in the days to come. But the question I put to Gauhar Gilani in Srinagar was, Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti is saying mosque loudspeakers are being used to get women and children out on the streets to protest. Is this Kashmiriyat? Is this Islamiyat, as some commentators say, sir?
What is Islamiyat? Do you know the term what is Islamiyat?
Sir,
What is
what
Islam?
is happening
you use
on
these
ground?
words without knowing the
Is
meaning.
this
And
Kashmiri?
what is wrong? What is wrong in using mosque loudspeakers to mobilize public opinion?
To get women and
What is the
children
problem?
to come out on
You
the
have-
streets and protest.
There's no problem in it. There is no problem in it.
There is no problem in
in using mosque loudspeakers. What is Islamiyat about it?
That is, there is no problem in it, you're saying?
You
There is
should
no
worry
problem.
about your slogans
Women and
which are
children
being
should come
raised.
out and protest. These calls are being made from mosques.
Gaurav, please listen to me. Gaurav, please listen to me. If you don't want to listen, then it's no point here. Come on.
No, you are
Listen
saying
to
there is
me.
no
I'm saying
problem
you should
in
worry
mosque
about
loudspeakers
slogans which are
being
raised
used
in
to get women and
mainland
children
India,
to come out and
where you
protest.
say भारत में जो रहना है तो राम राम ही कहना है. मुसलमानों के लिए दो स्थान पाकिस्तान या कब्रिस्तान.
Where? Who
You
has
should worry
said
about
that? Who
You're
has
the
said
RSS
that?
government
Who
in
has said
India.
that?
You should worry about
Who
that.
has said that?
You chose a man. You chose a man to be your prime minister who has a Gujarat baggage. Who
Oh
was,
really?
Who was the
You know,
architect of
Major
Gujarat
Arya,
program. What are you saying?
is this the
You're
level
talking
of your debate?
radicalization?
Is this the
You're
level of
talking
your debate?
radicalization?
Is this, what do you mean you chose? This country
this the
chose.
level of your- you
He
don't know
came
the
with
term
majority. This country chose him. Major Arya.
That speaks of the mindset. That speaks of the mindset that you chose a man who was a
when you have
Gujarat
protests in the
baggage.
valley, so they say that हमें क्या चाहिए आज़ादी? आज़ादी का मतलब क्या? ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह. Now, if this is not the most
So what's wrong in
regressive
that?
form of use of religion in
La ilaha illallah is
politics,
article of faith. There's
If-
no problem.
Sir, it can be an article of faith, but if you're using a religious place, a holy place like a mosque, to get out women and children to protest against soldiers, what is the point that you're giving here? This is no longer a political dispute. You have given it a
And
religious
soldiers
color.
are desecrating mosques.
Really? I mean,
There
you'll
are
take
always
the debate
multiple
down to
identities
this
at
level.
play.
Is
Whenever
this
there's
the
a political
mindset?
movement,
And then you say
there are
it's
multiple
political
identities
and
which play a
this is
role.
not Islamic jihad. Then you are saying that this is
It is
political.
of course political.
Really?
It is fundamentally a political problem.
Oh, it's fundamentally a political
It is a
problem.
political problem. It
Where
is
Sayyid Ali
fundamentally
Shah
a political
Gilani,
problem.
Sayyid Ali Shah
Yes,
Gilani
yes, of
saying
course.
that Islam, I'll tell you his exact words, sirf aur sirf Islam chalega. Is this Kashmiriyat? When Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani says sirf aur sirf Islam chalega, हम पाकिस्तानी हैं, पाकिस्तान हमारा है.
See, my dear, there was a poll conducted in 1995 by the Outlook. 75% of the respondents voted for complete independence of Jammu and Kashmir. There is also a pro-Pakistan element of which Gilani is a representative. Gilani also represents a pro-Pakistan constituency in Kashmir. Like there are some pro-India elements and some stooges. So this is a very complex
pro-India
situation
elements are
where the dominant sentiment
stooges.
is
Pro-India
for Azadi,
elements are stooges.
complete independence.
Major Arya.
Yes, of course.
So
That is
if
what
somebody is
Mr.
pro-India, he's a
A.S. Bilal
stooge.
said.
The problem with Gilani is that he's not even loyal to
No,
Pakistan.
not all of them. Not
He's-
all of them.
he-
Not
he's
all of
taking
them.
money from India. He's taking money from
No,
Pakistan.
please, you're
And I think he's
listen
just
to me.
firming up his political base.
Listen to me.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Do you have any proof that he's taking money from both?
So the
Or you
proof was
just-
yesterday
you're
on
just
national
saying it for
television.
rhetorical purpose.
They're spending 100 crore rupees a year on maintenance of the Hurriyat conference. Their hotel bills, their travel bills, their medical bills.
So that you should ask your government, sir. That you should ask your government. why
Yes,
are you
we
doing
have
that?
we have asked our government, and there is proof to say that over 25 crore rupees have been funneled into Kashmir from across the border.
That is not something that somebody is taking money. You are spending on their security. That's your problem.
No, I'm saying, sir, about money coming from Pakistan. Pakistan is not spending money on its security. Pakistan is not spending money, and unfortunately we are. But Pakistan is not spending money on its security. And this is an Islamist problem. You're
for
using
you to
mosques,
decide.
you're
That's for
using
you
a
to
holy
decide.
place
What I'm saying
to target
is,
women and children. You're putting women and children in front of
the
soldiers
dominant political
because you
sentiment in
want to
Kashmir
make
is for
martyrs.
independence.
That is what you want. So you can have a grand funeral the next day and you can say how evil India is. That is the whole game plan. And I think a little bit of shame and introspection is called for, sir.
I think if you were a true Indian, true patriot, I think you should hang your head in shame because of the state-sponsored terrorism in Kashmir.
I mean,
if you were a true
really,
Indian.
and you know, Gauhar Gilani, we as a journalist, we expect facts to come out from you. But I also want to bring in India Today's Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu,
I'm
who's been
speaking
tracking the
facts.
story
I'm
very
giving you
closely.
facts after facts.
Kamal,
I am giving you
Government of India now says they will crack the whip. They will adopt a hard stance. What does this hard stance actually mean on ground? Because Gauhar Gilani says, and many people in Kashmir say, it is India's fault that India spends money on securing the Hurriyat. Hurriyat At least Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani openly says, I like Pakistan, I want Pakistan.
Well, Gaurav, there is a problem there. 60 days of curfew and hartal-like situation. So obviously, there seems to be a problem which needs to be addressed, and many feel it's also because of lack of governance, and perhaps that's where Mehbooba government, the popularly elected government, is also lacking both in Jammu as well as Kashmir, where the problem persists. And now there is also a feeling that the previous governments had been partly funding some of the security, pension, travel, and other facilities which were given to Hurriyat for reasons perhaps because they wanted to keep an eye on them, or for reasons other than that. But the fact remains, the government stance at this point of time is that there is no room with Hurriyat, though they feel there is a spontaneous reaction by some of the stone pillars, but there are many segments that the government feels are the ones who are actually sitting silently, are people who are youth or also middle class, and perhaps many other segments who are actually either fence-sitters or for India in a certain sense, but are not willing to speak out.
Stay with me. Because they're scared. They're scared of the Hurriyat. They're scared of stone pelters. They're scared of these protesters who will intimidate them in case they speak out. You know, Gauhar Gilani, another aspect that Mehbooba Mufti has raised, and she's very strong that she's raising it because others may speak in hushed tones. They've been scared to say it openly. Women in Kashmir are being told how to dress up, what to wear, what not to wear, and they're being told if you ride a scooty, you will be burnt along with the scooty. What kind of a political movement is this, sir?
that is hilarious. I drive my car and I see more women driving cars in Kashmir than men. So I don't think where she's coming from. This is absolutely hilarious.
You may find it hilarious, sir, but for the benefit of our viewers, let us listen to the Chief Minister.
It's hilarious. There are no facts to support it.
Sir, you may find it hilarious.
She's reading the RSS script,
you may find it hilarious.
She's reading the RSS script.
She's saying today it begins like this. Tomorrow it will end up like Afghanistan. It will end up as Libya. It will end up as Syria. Let's listen in to Mehbooba Mufti.
Don't worry about Kashmir.
जब भी अगर आप अपने आस-पास में देखेंगे माहौल, अगर अफगानिस्तान बना हुआ तो वो एकदम अफगानिस्तान ही बना। वहाँ भी धीरे-धीरे इसी तरह शुरू हुआ। लोगों में दहशत फैलाई गई। अदरवाइज मुझे बताइए कि एक बुजुर्ग दुकानदार गाड़ी वाला 10 साल का बच्चा उसकी दुकान के अंदर घुस के उसको 10 थप्पड़ मारता है, एक नहीं 10 थप्पड़ मारता है, और रात को मस्जिदों से ऐलान किया जाता है औरतें बच्चे सब बाहर आ जाओ प्रोटेस्ट करने के लिए। मस्जिदें तो इस चीज के लिए नहीं बनी है हमारी, हम तो इस चीज के खिलाफ है, इस्लाम को खिलाफ है कि मस्जिदों में ये शोर शराबा गाना बजाना नहीं होना चाहिए, चाहे वो कोई भी गाना। तो नतीजा क्या है, कौन है इसका जिम्मेदार? ये आपका फर्ज भी बनता है। आपकी बच्ची को रास्ते में 10 लड़के रोकेंगे कि कहाँ जा रही हो, ये कपड़े क्यों पहने हैं, ये चप्पल क्यों पहनी है, तो फिर क्या करेंगे? फिर तो कोई कंट्रोल नहीं होगा इस पर। जो मैं देख रही हूँ कि आप लड़की स्कूटी क्यों चलाएगी, घर से क्यों निकला? अगर कोई बेवा ये प्रेग्नेंट औरत है उसको बोला नहीं आप नहीं जा सकती, कैंसर पेशेंट्स है हमारे इसको।
That's one aspect of the story, Gauhar Gilani. Apart from women being told what to wear or what not to wear, you heard the Chief Minister yourself. Schools, colleges
it's
shut.
Absolutely her figment of imagination. It's absolutely her figment of imagination.
A figment of the Chief Minister's imagination?
Okay. So the Chief Minister, a duly elected Chief Minister of a state, is imagining it and you're not, sir. Excellent.
Sir, somewhere down the line, there is a great disconnect. There is a great disconnect. There is one part of the story that's coming out from the valley, another part of the story that is deliberately or for whatever reason not even coming out of the valley. The Chief Minister is raising some very legitimate points. She's saying schools are shut, colleges are shut, the rich will send their children out, they will get education, the poor will become stone pelters. Is that the conspiracy?
Don't worry about these things.
Why not? Why not, sir?
Are you asking me a question?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you just listen to me. I am saying, You worry about in your country people are being killed on the suspicion of eating beef, and FIRs are registered and investigation is
What
done.
does that have to do
see whether
with
beef was
Mehbooba
stored
Mufti
in
talking
the
about
fridge.
schools shut?
Not again.
That's what about
No,
tree, sir.
I'm telling you.
Sir,
you worry about the radicalization in mainland India.
Question.
This is all figment of imagination.
You are indulging
and
in what
telling
about
you,
tree? You're not responding to very specific queries that have been raised, sir.
I understand your compulsion, Gaurav. I understand your compulsion because
no compulsion.
You have no words to
I
defend
think these
the
are
state-sponsored
compulsions
terrorism
that
in
you need
Kashmir,
to
and
think
that's why you are
about,
trying to demonize and criminalize the legitimate political
on
opinion of
ground,
Kashmiris.
Major Arya, that some people are not even reacting to.
You are not on
Either
the
they
ground.
don't
You are
want
not
to,
on the ground.
or they're scared to.
I think
You
they're
are
just too
airing
afraid to react. I think they know that if they react or if they say something in support or they speak the truth, then there will be consequences for them because they live there. They are locals, they live there, and they have to sleep in those beds.
The only people Kashmiris fear are the men in uniform who are Indian security forces. The only men we fear are Indian security forces.
I am not sure because the chief minister is saying if little children are slapping old men repeatedly, what is the pressure? If Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani and I want you to go back to this afternoon with this thought. What is Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani saying? And is this the Kashmir you want? Friends,
political opinion of merging with Pakistan.
If Kashmir is indeed paradise, is this the paradise they want? Before we wrap up, Gohar Gilani and Major Arya, many thanks for joining me. But listen in to what Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani is saying. Listen in to what Mehbooba Mufti's warning. Is that what we want Kashmir to become? Many thanks for joining me on this debate.
सिर्फ और सिर्फ इस्लाम चलेगा इंशाअल्लाह सारे बोलो इंशाअल्लाह इंशाअल्लाह और इस्लाम की निस्बत से ही इस्लाम के ताल्लुक से ही इस्लाम की मोहब्बत से ही हम पाकिस्तानी हैं पाकिस्तान हमारा है